Hi Year 2, it's Miss White here. This week you're going to be finishing off your story based on Lost and Found, your Voyage and Return story. Our big focus this week is actually going to be on editing and improving our work so that you can publish it on Friday. Here is the grid just to remind you. So as you know, we need to focus on the green section, and to challenge ourselves, we look at the yellow section. Our language focus for this unit was on verbs, and that's what we're going to be mainly editing and improving this week, as well as using conjunctions to make some compound sentences. So this is my story, and I'm going to edit it with you now. Once there was a girl. One day she found an elephant outside her house. It looked sad. She thought it was lost. She thought it needed to get home. She went to her mum. Her mum didn't know where the elephant was from. She went to her school teacher. She didn't know where it was from. She asked her teddies. They ignored her. I'm not going to read all the way through, but just reading out loud, as you will notice, I really do need to use some conjunctions because all I have at the moment are lots and lots of simple sentences. I don't need to edit every single one because it is still good to have simple sentences in your work, but I'm going to have a look now where I can edit. So once there was a girl. One day she found an elephant outside her house. It looked sad. She thought it was lost. So I could add in a conjunction here. And before you say anything, I have made a mistake here. And this is why we edit and improve. It should be an elephant. I've also got some capital letters and full stops missing. What I'm going to do is look back at my choice of conjunctions here. Now to make a compound sentence, I can use something like and, but, or I can even use so. So I'm going to write here, once there was a girl, one day she found an elephant outside her house. It looked sad, so I'm going to get rid of my capital letter and my full stop. I'm going to write, so she thought it was lost. She thought it needed to get home. She went to her mum. Her mum didn't know where the elephant was from. Another chance here to use a compound sentence. She went to her mum, but her mum didn't know where the elephant was from. Now, just going to recap here. We need our capital letter. She went to her school teacher. She didn't know where it was from. So I can actually use a similar sentence structure here. But she didn't know where it was from. She asked her teddies. They ignored her. I don't want to keep using compound sentences. One of your extensions this week is to actually use conjunctions such as if, when, because to make what we call complex sentences. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change this sentence to when she asked her teddies, comma, they ignored her. We need a comma here because this is what we would call a subordinate clause. It doesn't make sense on its own. She asked her baby brother. Now I'm not going to use and again. I'm just going to say and she didn't understand his answer. She went to the library and found a book about elephants. She learned that they were from Asia. She got on a small plane with the elephant. So I'm going to start a new paragraph here. So I can start here with, I'm going to vary my sentence starters. I'm doing a lot of she and they. So I'm going to say that evening, comma, that's what we call a fronted adverbial. She got on a small plane with the elephant. They flew through storms. They flew through the night. The girl told lots of stories as they flew. They flew all the way across the world to Asia. The girl was so happy. The elephant looked sad. I'm going to say here, the girl was so happy, but the elephant looked sad. And I've got another chance here to use that subordinating conjunction when the girl said goodbye and left in her plane, comma, she saw the elephant from her plane window. She saw that he was still sad. She didn't like being on her own. So I haven't finished my whole story, but I think I've shown you enough here for you to edit. So school teacher. Now, I don't know if any of you have picked this up, but the reason Asia has got a line under it is because it's a continent, so it should start with a capital letter. I'm just trying to find the other one. Here we go. So that's what you're going to be doing on Monday, is editing your sentence structure. And then later on in the week, you're going to be using this mat to help you come up with some different verbs so that you're not repeating the same words. So your first task is actually going to be to highlight your verbs. Now, just remember they're doing words. I'm not going to highlight them in every single sentence, but if you look here, I've got she found, it looked sad, she thought. Now, if you notice, as I'm highlighting these, she thought, she thought. We don't want to be repeating the verbs too much. So I'm just going to see if, here we go. So here's a whole section for thought. So I'm going to say wonder instead. So it looked so sad. So she wondered if it was lost. And then I can keep this thought. She went to her mum, but her mum didn't know where the elephant was from. So here's my verb again, went. I've got lots of went here. So I'm going to have a look and see again if my map's going to help me. So movement, she strolled over to her mum, I could say. She wandered over to her mum. So I think I'm going to say wandered. So she wandered over to her mum, but her mum didn't know where the elephant was from. She went to her school teacher. I'm going to say here she approached her school teacher, but she didn't know where it was from. When she asked her teddies, they ignored her. She asked her baby brother and she didn't understand his answer. So again, I've used the word asked twice here. Let's go back to the verb mat and see if there's anything here. Not all of them, but we could say, because to ask is to question. So when she questioned her teddies, they ignored her. Now I've got some more went here. So I'm going to say here, so we've used wandered. She's going to stroll to the library and found a book about elephants. She learned that they were from Asia. Now, the last bit I'm going to show you, again, if we're highlighting our verbs, look how many times I have used the verb flew. 4 times in just 3 sentences. So if we're thinking about our reader, it's going to get a bit boring for them if they're having the same words. So let's go back to the mat here. I'm going to see if there's any different synonyms we could use instead of flew. So we can't have things like wander, but we could have travelled. Soared is a good synonym as well. So they flew through storms. We'll keep that one. They travelled through the night. The girl told lots of stories as they, I'm going to say here, soared through the air. So they flew all the way across the world to Asia. So I can use flew again here because I've mixed them up a little bit. The girl was so happy, but the elephant looked sad. When the girl said goodbye and left in her plane, she saw the elephant from her plane window. She saw that he was still sad. So again, I've repeated a couple of times. So I'm going to say here, instead of she saw, she noticed that he was still sad. So that's the 2 main things you're going to be editing for this week, boys and girls. You're going to be changing up your different types of sentences, and you're also going to be varying the types of verbs that you use. Now, that's not to say that you can't improve any other vocabulary. If you have some adjectives in there, then you might want to find synonyms for those. And you'll notice actually something I've picked up on. I haven't got many describing words in my story, so I could go back through now and create some expanded noun phrases. This could be a little extension. So once there was a girl, so I'm going to say that she was a happy, small girl. Okay, obviously I can then think of better words, better synonyms. And I could add some expanded noun phrases for her baby brother, for the elephant, even for the plane. So I've said small here. So I could think of some synonyms for those as well. The main thing is, guys, you're working towards publishing your wonderful stories at the end of the week. Please also focus carefully on your handwriting, making sure you're using continuous cursive, and you can use the Letter Join website to help you. And then we would love to see your pictures at the end of the week with some lovely decorations as well. We can't wait to see your stories. Please share them on Dojo or Twitter, and we'll speak to you soon. Thanks, you two.